And Hokie Homer turned Husker, Nathan Brennan.
Everyone knows that I'm the smartest person here.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Nate.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. We're on the block live from Barry's on 9th and Q. Today, we're 2 to 4, followed up by Old School from 4 to 6. But from 2 to 6, you can find 93.7 The Ticket right here on the block and Old School. Come on out. We're on the rooftop on the patio. Come register for one of 2 pairs of tickets for tomorrow's game against Georgia Southern and Nebraska. You can only get that right here if you show up. Drinks, beautiful. It's breezy. The sun's out, not a cloud in the sky. Come have a drink with us today and make sure you come out tonight for Alumni Nights from 6 to 9:30 every Friday during the season with drink specials and pep band.
The trumpets.
Yeah, I listen. Go Big Red. You're gonna hear it all. You're gonna hear it all. It's going down right here. Also from 8 to 9 Friday, every home game, including tonight. Alumni gets a 10% off purchases with their alumni card.
Really?
It's a good deal. It's going down out here at Barry's today.
That's awesome. One thing I will say, like the sun's out, like you said, Strick, which is nice because it keeps it a little warm. But they also have coverage. They have coverage from the sun where if you're able to be up here on the rooftop, you're able to sit down and there's some shade over the top that you still get the breeze and you still get a little bit of sun, but it's definitely not blinding or anything like that. It's a really comfortable afternoon here at the Barry's rooftop. So yeah, definitely come on down.
The breeze.
No better way to spend your Friday night.
The breeze feels phenomenal.
It does.
It feels phenomenal.
Which makes me excited. I don't know about you, Strick. Like it makes me excited. I love the hot weather. But tomorrow's 65-degree day. There's something about it. Like it feels like football. We have week 1 of NFL football. We got treated to a pretty astonishing. Yeah, we will. Astonishing Bills performance last night. But tomorrow we're going to be at Tipsy Tina's starting at 4 p.m. for the tailgate pregame show. And I'm ready to like kind of wear maybe sweatpants or shorts and a nice little hoodie. Or a windbreaker, just be a nice little comfortable weather, 65 degrees. Now, like I said, I love the hot weather more than anything. I hate the cold, but I'm okay with 60 to 70-degree days as well.
Yeah, it especially me. I'm definitely good with fall. I'm even good with fall weather. I'm good with even when it gets to fit. I can play golf
100%.
even. I can play golf anything up to about 55. When you get below 50, and yeah, that's when it becomes trouble.
I was looking at my memories last night on my camera roll, just looking, and I remember playing golf in December last year. I had a picture that I was playing golf in December, and the temperature was 63 degrees.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, so welcome to Lincoln. I mean, welcome to Lincoln. We're gonna get that this year. No, but
I'm hoping for a mild one.
Yeah, for real. And so I'm sitting here like. I won't be complaining at all if it's 63 degrees in December, but I'm okay with it also being 65 tomorrow for Georgia Southern, and then we'll see what happens next week as well against Oklahoma. But it's football season. We're in full swing here.
One of the things I was talking about in the happy hour, I'm going to toss it over to you. I mean, really get your thoughts on this is how do you feel about the schedule? I think the schedule, it can be working to the favor of Nebraska, even though they lost the first game in week 0. There's a lot of things we've already talked about, we've debated about, we've broke down regarding that. But at the same time, I think there were a lot of lessons that can be learned from these 3 games. You know, you're looking at a team that's going to get after you both up front, power you. They were disciplined. They're going to stick to their game plan. They had a plan. They executed it. They were poised. So you got to see Big Ten football early on, get a taste of it to get an idea of what that looked like. You follow that up with a North Dakota team, physical. They got after you inside. They handled their business. You know, more than what you thought, right? Yeah. They weren't scared. They came in here and played a solid game, did some good things, did some bad things, got after you defensively, made it tough. And then you follow it up now on your third game with air raid.
Yeah.
So you've got a chance to see multiple facets.
Yeah, and you bring in, you bring in an air raid team like you said, and also a head coach that has Power 5 experience
and a QB that's been here before.
Yeah, QB that's played in that stadium, right? That's usually sometimes an advantage when we're playing these, second and third game of the season against non-conference opponents. Listen, North Dakota's not usually used to playing in front of 80,000, and although the players can talk all they want about controlling nerves and controlling the excitement and just the angst of playing in front of that many people, it's harder to do it in the moment when the bullets are flying, right? And so you have Kyle Vantrease coming in for Georgia Southern. You have Clay Helton, who has experience as a Power 5 head coach. Like it or not, he does, regardless of what his record at USC was. But you come in, like I've said this before, Strick, there is value in last week's game and this week's game.
Yeah.
There is value. Now, I got some pushback on it because you beat an FCS team by 17 and you were tied at halftime. So how much value can you get there? All I'm saying is, like, you get to learn more about Nebraska as a program, right? We're going to learn the most about Nebraska as a program and as an offense specifically in the first 2 quarters of this weekend's game. Similar to last weekend, we learned that maybe they didn't come out as quick as we thought we were hoping to see last weekend, but now tomorrow they have another opportunity to really get out in front quick, right? Because I think a fast start's important against Georgia Southern. And then we know they also have the running game at the end of the game last week. They ran it 11 straight plays. So they have the running game that's capable of kind of putting guys away or putting teams away and kind of just taking the wind out of their sails. Now I want to see it 2 weeks in a row.
I would have to agree with that. And that was what I really wanted to see. I got to see in the North Dakota game what I really wanted to see in the Northwestern game. That's the way I felt they had a chance to get it done. Obviously, the interceptions didn't help. When it came down to it, they weren't able to get it done. And I think they showed a little bit of resilience by coming back the next week and doing it the way that they did it. You got to see an Anthony Grant emerge as a bell cow. You've got to see, other pieces begin to formulate. You get to see Washington getting a little bit more development, and Trey Palmer with his explosiveness. You're starting to see a little bit of that. Got to see Garrett Nelson. You got to see him get their first sack. O'Shawn Mathis, see a little bit more of what he does. This is what I want to see this week in the O'Shawn Mathis, the Garrett Nelson. I want to see pressure. I want to see four down linemen, did 4 up front without blitz. I want to see that. We also want to see the testing, I think, of the DBs.
100%.
That's what I think I want to see.
And it all kind of works together, right? Because you talk about this pressure and in an air raid offense, not necessarily the quarterback's not going to be a sitting duck, because in part of an air raid offense, you expect your receivers to figure out a way to get open, right? And that's what this receiving core is going to try to do. They know Nebraska's probably going to bring the pressure, bring some blitz, bring some heat to Kyle Vantrease. But there's also a part of me, Strick, where in order for Nebraska to get pressure, because Kyle Vantrease likes to release the ball quick, in order to get pressure, then you're going to need the DBs on the backside to really pick it up. They're going to need the defensive backs on the backside to really pick it up. Stay with the wide receivers, stick with them, allow the defensive backs the front 7 enough time to get to the quarterback. Because, I keep wanting to say Buffalo since Vantrease played for him last year, but Georgia Southern understands they're going to have to get rid of the ball quick. They're going to have to find guys quicker than they might even like to. They also play tempo. So it's one of those things where you need to rely on the defensive backs to do their job, right? Do their job, as Caleb Tanner said in the press conference a couple of weeks ago. Do their job, and that will allow the front 7 in Nebraska to maybe get some momentum and some pressure on this quarterback for Georgia Southern. But I mean, you hit it on the head. Also, going back to the offensive side of the ball, Anthony Grant emerged as a guy, and we've seen flashes from running backs in years past, specifically under Scott Frost. We saw flashes of Dedrick Mills back in 2019 and 2020. We saw flashes of Maurice Washington, but then he had his off the field problems. We saw flashes. Obviously, he had the big year from Divino Zigbo in 2018, but it was supposed to be Greg Bell that year. So it's like we've seen flashes of guys, but here's the thing: we've never seen it piggyback week to week to week, and that's where there's value in these 2 weeks games, in my opinion. Strick, is you have an opportunity now against a team that's below you, right? Below you in the world of college football. You have an opportunity to win the battle up front, which you might not have done last week against North Dakota. You have an opportunity to win the battle up front on the line of scrimmage, and really ground and pound and kind of step on the throat if you get up early on this one.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Our Streamline, thank you also for joining our Streamline. There, you can always find us on YouTube, all of our platform there at 93.7 The Ticket. You can find us there, Facebook, as well as Twitch and Twitter, Spotify as well. But one of our stream texters says Clay Helton won 2/3 of his game at USC. Yeah. Maybe now he's in his proper element. What if he goes 40-10 over the next 4 years? What's your thoughts about that?
Well, I think it's interesting, right? We see a lot of times throughout just college sports in general, guys having success at lower, just kind of getting a fresh start. Whether you're, I guess that's truth for athletes and coaches. A great example in Major League Baseball is Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo had a horrible time in New York as a member of the Yankees, gets traded to the Dodgers, has a fresh shot and start, and gets kind of hot at the beginning of things. But I wouldn't be surprised. I think Clay Helton got a bad rap at USC. Mm-hmm. I think expectations were extremely high. They had a guy in Kedon Slovis who is now the quarterback at Pitt. And you kind of were able to see they were still around a 500 winning team last season with an interim coach, Dante Williams, the former Husker defensive back coach, as their interim guy. So I just think maybe expectations were too high for Clay Helton, and he had one or two bad years. And it is too bad. It's just too bad. But like they said, did I say that? Did I say fresh start? Anyway,
well, I don't know, but Mr. Unlimited does have a question for you. He says, "LOL, why do they have to get rid of the ball quickly? Our front seven haven't done their job yet."
It's a good point. I
think it's a good point.
Absolutely. I
thought they showed in the North Dakota game that they're capable of getting there at times. I think now knowing it's a difference when you're knowing your discipline is you have to kind of, make sure that you're not opening up lanes. Mm-hmm. They're not drawing and running in behind you. So you've got to take different routes to the quarterback. But then when you get these, one of the things that Nebraska hadn't done, especially from the Northwestern game, has been able to get off of the field. Even in North Dakota, they weren't able to get off the field on those third down, those third down and 5 situations, third down and 6 situations. They weren't able to do it. They got there late a little bit better. And I think that's the thing I want to see, knowing that this team is going to pass the ball. And you're probably right, Nick. They're probably going to try to get it off quicker, knowing that they're going to be pretty active, maybe some screens. They're going to do some things like that. But I think if they can hold them to get them behind the chains a little bit, that 3rd and 8, that's when they pin their ears back. And that's when 100%. We're hoping to see what we expect out of them.
Well, and Clay Helton said that in his press conference this week. He said something along the lines of, and not surprising when you're coaching at Georgia Southern, Nebraska's going to be the best team that they face this season. Mm-hmm. That's understandable, and that's transparent across the board. Nebraska is going to be the best team, whether it's front seven on the defense side of the ball, best offensive weapons that Georgia Southern is going to see all season long. One thing that you did mention, though, Strick, is if Nebraska is able to get pressure, let's say they're in a 3rd down and 15 situation, and there's a chance for Nebraska to really grab the momentum in the game. This is where it's going to go on the defensive backs, because with an air raid offense, they're going to try to extend the field. They're trying to get vertical, right? And the defensive backs cannot have stupid penalties. You cannot sit there on a 3rd and 15 and have a stupid holding penalty or a pass interference, something that gives the offense an automatic first down. So that's where you're really going to have to rely on these defensive backs. That, in particular, the safeties are interesting for me this game, because we kind of know what Tommy Hill's like. Aggressive guy, takes some risks, but is a pretty good tackler, Tommy Hill. But then and we know what we have in the other captain, Quentin Newsome. So just in the other cornerback, Quentin Newsome. So it's one of those things where you kind of hope that they do their job on the backside, and Nebraska will be just fine.
Well, we got to take a break. We're here again at Barry's on 9th and Q. We'll be here from 2 to 6. You can always come out and join us. Come out, say hello, wave a hand, have a drink with us. We got to go back and pay a few bills. We'll be right back. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com, right after these messages. Join us on Fridays from 2 to 6 on the rooftop at Barry's as we get you ready for Saturday's game against Georgia Southern. On the block with Eric Strickland and Nate Brennan, followed by Old School with Jay Foreman and DP this Friday from 2 to 6 at Barry's
on 9th and Q.
Get an immediate look back at the game from the people who know it best. It's the Tanner's post-game show and the final word live from Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Hear from former players and national champions like Jay Foreman, Rashawn Jackson, and Aaron Davis and see what they saw in that day's game. It's the Tanner's post-game show and the final word. Live and in person, home or away at Tanner's Bar and Grill, brought to you by Bauer Infrastructure. Only here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs, or get down with some dumbbells and strength equipment. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 14th. It's glow time. See club for details.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your Nebraska-owned premier John Deere dealership. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. SCC's Career Days will provide you with hands-on experience as you learn alongside SCC faculty and students and our industry partners. This provides you with a first-hand look at career opportunities in construction, agriculture, automotive, manufacturing and engineering, transportation, and healthcare. Learn more about SCC Career Days at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Don't make a knee-jerk reaction when replacing your air conditioner. Good or bad, the decision you make today will save or waste money for the next 15 to 20 years. Just call Bryant. They offer some of the most efficient air conditioners available, up to 26 SEER. Let Bryant's specialists meet your budget and comfort requirements with their good, better, and best options. Call 467-1111 or visit BryantLincoln.com to schedule your free estimate. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and things are cooking in Louisville. Right now, our pre-owned sales are off the charts, and we have loaded up the lots full of inventory. We've got a great supply of Sierras, Silverados, Tahoes, Yukons, and crossovers. Plus, we've got a great supply of back-to-school cars just in time for the big day. Don't forget about all of those new 2022 and 2023 units arriving every day as well. So please take that short, money-saving drive down 144th Street or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Nate on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back on the block, except we're not on the block. We're on the top at the rooftop here at Barry's on 9th and Q. From 2 to 4, our show, and following us up will be DP and J, old school. They'll go from 4 to 6, but it'll be a fun time right here. Once again, come on down for one of 2 pairs of tickets to tomorrow's night game against Georgia Southern with Nebraska at Memorial Stadium. Come on down, have a drink with us, say what's up, give us a peace sign, because tonight for the alumni, 6 to 9:30 every Friday during the season, there are drink specials and the pep band playing at 8 to 9. I'm sorry, 8 and 9. Yeah, 8 and 9. Not necessarily 8 to 9, but 8 and 9. No.
There's no place like Nebraska.
No. You can't play. But the band will play. So come on out. The band will play. Alumni get a 10% off of purchases as well with their alumni's card. So it's a good time. It's a fun time. Come on out, man. Beautiful people, beautiful women, beautiful fans, and old men having cigars. And no, I don't know if it's a cigar. I don't know what they're doing, but it's beautiful. Anyway, what's up, Nick?
Nothing, Stricky.
You gotta laugh at Stricky sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely, you do.
I haven't even had a patio pounder yet.
I know we haven't. Chase B, though, on the text line enjoyed my little "No Place Like Nebraska."
Oh,
how about that? So maybe I can play.
Come watch the real band play.
Yeah, come watch the real.
That I love the song. It's not the song.
No, so it's me.
It's the playing.
It's me.
Playing
It's me. It's me.
Yeah.
You have a problem with me? No, it's going to be a sweet environment here, especially tomorrow morning. So, I might have to stop here before I head over to the rail yard. So normally I have a routine that I made last week. So it's not really a routine. It's going to be week 2 of the routine tomorrow. Go to the rail yard, then make my way to Tipsy Tina's. Eventually, I might have to stop at Barry's here first. Barry's rail yard pregame show. Might as well.
Love it. It's a great flow.
You have
Just
to.
flows nice and smooth.
It's
just
awesome.
Down to the
It's a great atmosphere. You got people up on the rooftop up here. Everybody's wearing red. You can't beat it, especially on a night game. I mean, the atmosphere all day tomorrow. And here's the thing, Strick. You don't want to look too far ahead, but 2 weeks from now, if Nebraska can get the job done comfortably tomorrow, then there's going to be a lot of excitement and anticipation for next Saturday.
So that's the one thing I wanted to touch on you on, right?
Yeah.
Or I wanted to talk about, because what do you want to see at the start of this game? Like, how do you want to see it? Do you want to see just kind of just feeling it out, a little bit of this, a little bit of run, a little bit of pass, not taking any chances? Or do you want to see them go out, take all chances, just try to, they've scored every first possession.
That's the thing.
So how do you want to see that?
That's exactly what I was going to start with. That I have a lot of confidence in this staff and in this offense on being able to start quick, right? Being able to start, and by start, I'm saying their first drive of the game. First drive of their game and the opening possession of the second half offensively. I really think that the staff has shown the ability, staff and the athletes, I guess, have shown the ability to execute what they work on and what they script. And maybe that should be expected, and maybe I'm reading too much into that. But really what I want to see is sustainability, whether it's in the passing game or it's in the running game, right? And continue to build off of what we saw last Saturday.
Yeah. I think for me, I want to see sustainability too. I want to see drives that even when it gets to third down, I want to see them make plays. I don't want to see drop balls. I want to see some separation. I want to see some holes. I don't want to see these little minuscule holes if they're going to run a zone read or something where you're relying just on the greatness of his ability to see and get through the holes. I don't want to see that no more.
Well, and let's be real, Anthony Grant and any great running back, any quality running back is going to have to do a lot on their own, right? That's how they kind of separate themselves from the rest of the running backs in the country. If you want to talk about a top tier, top 2-tier running back in the country. What do they do? Great. It's their offensive line helps them out, but then they also do extra things well. We saw last week against a North Dakota team that Anthony Grant has the ability to do things on his own that can get him 189 yards on the game and 2 scores. Now, once again, you don't want to look too far down the schedule or too far down the season, but when Nebraska's playing Minnesota, when Nebraska's playing Wisconsin, they match up with better linebackers and just better overall defensive play on the other side of the football, they're going to need their offensive line to really step up.
Yes.
And like Tyler says this, do you have confidence in the offensive line? I can't say yes. I can't. Like coming into the season, now here's the thing, Strick. I really think losing Nuri Nuili has been a big loss. Has been a big loss. And
you're still getting a rusty, Prohaska.
You're still trying to figure out. I also think they're still trying to figure out what they want personnel wise.
It's tough to replace Cam Jerkins.
It is. It is.
He was a freaking beast.
100% it is. And like I think when you look at the strip sack that Casey Thompson had last week, or went on the strip sack from Casey Thompson last week, they put Prohaska right tackle and they shifted everybody over. And so it kind of shows that maybe this offensive staff, now I don't want to put words in their mouth, but it kind of shows that this offensive staff may be still feeling some things out. Yeah. And they're just trying to figure out a good combination, which once again can go back to where I feel like there is value in these 2 games because you're able to kind of do that, switch some things around, hopefully, and off of sheer talent and depth, you're able to win the football game.
Yeah.
But you can't, once again, as bad as folks want Oklahoma next week, they need to figure out their offensive line, their personnel decisions. They need to figure out all that stuff before they get into Big Ten play. Because a win or a loss against Oklahoma is not going to affect whether or not you're playing for a Big Ten conference championship at the end of the year.
Yeah.
It's the games against Minnesota, Illinois, Purdue on October 15th. It's those games that are going to determine whether or not you're playing in Indy in December.
Well, let me throw this out at you. And Texter says, are you drinking with Georgia Southern? Listen, we drinking with all fans.
We love
that. Is the one thing that I've always noticed wherever I go, whenever I talk to people all across the country, Nebraska is well known for being one thing. That is some of the best fans in the country.
Nebraska nice.
Genuine, receptive, welcoming. People that have been to hostile crowds in hostile places have always said they had a perception in their mind, and when they got here, they really found Nebraska fans to be some of the best in the country.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. I want to throw this out to you.
All right.
This game is important.
100%. Yeah.
I think it's important visually for the perception of the fans, for the perception of what's going to happen when Oklahoma comes in here. This is an important game in that step. But I also know that there's a looming date, and I haven't had a chance to talk to you about that. There's a looming date that's coming October 1st.
Oh, Rutgers.
Where actually it's Indiana.
Excuse me. Yeah,
Indiana.
Rutgers is the following on the 7th.
Yeah. So Indiana will be finding themselves coming into Memorial Stadium, but there's a date that there's a $15 million salary that seems to drop to 7.5.
Yeah.
Text line. This is a hot one for you. 402-464-5685 as well. We definitely would love to hear from you on it, but I'm throwing it to Nick right now. If you don't like what you see this game, we get blown out or beat pretty handily. Not even if we don't lose like by 30 or something, but you can tell they dominated.
Well, here's the thing.
Hold on.
Any loss against Georgia Southern is going to be bad.
No, not that. Not Georgia Southern. I'm saying you beat them.
Okay.
But it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Okay, you beat Georgia Southern. You don't lose. But if you lose, that changes the whole dynamic.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if you lost by 30 or 5.
Yeah, I'm saying
you know what it is.
You beat Georgia Southern.
Yeah.
Not handily, but you squeak by. You get your chinny chin.
North Dakota game.
Okay. You get beat soundly, even though it may not be by 30 by Oklahoma. You show up to Indiana. If it doesn't look like it's turning, changing, does Scott Frost, and I'm throwing it out to the text line, does Scott Frost make it past October 1st?
So this is after the Indiana game, if it doesn't look like
it. If it doesn't.
Well, I don't think.
Are you buying and selling Scott Frost still here?
If you are 2-4, yes, you are selling him. But
you know this guy?
What's up?
We got
man?
Raph in the building. What's up, Raph?
How you doing? Come on in. Bellevue West in the house. That's how we do it.
Rico's
What's
gonna
going
be jealous.
on?
We got so you got the 83 scoring explosion jerseys this weekend.
Yeah.
Mark Tranowitz, center. Harry Grimminger guard, baby.
Harry Grimminger, how you
Awesome.
doing? Wow, we've got some Huskers in the house.
Nice to meet
Hey,
you.
we're gonna let him sit down, man. Tranowitz, come on, man. Have a seat, bro, real quick.
Yep.
Have a seat. Nick, talk. Great, one of the best linemen to do it here. He don't look like
Yeah.
it now, but he's one of the best to ever do it. Came out of the Yes, sir. Sit down and have a drink.
Yeah, so actually what we're going to do is we're going to get them situated. We might actually be able to get another headset in here as well. So we'll go ahead and take a break. When we come back on the block, Strick and Nick with you on the rooftop at Barry's 9th and Q in the Haymarket. Come on down and say hello. Walk up to the rooftop. You got to be here. We'll be right back. You're listening to On the Block, Nick and Strick and Nick on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. SCC's Career Days will provide you with hands-on experience as you learn alongside SCC faculty and students and our industry partners. This provides you with a first-hand look at career opportunities in construction, agriculture, automotive, manufacturing and engineering, transportation, and healthcare. Learn more about SCC Career Days at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Mark your calendars for the St. Wenceslas Brewfest on Saturday, September 10th in Milligan. Savor a delicious selection of Czech beer and cuisine while listening to live bands. And there's kids' activities too. It's the St. Wenceslas Brewfest on September 10th in Milligan.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. Summer is here, and that means you're having garage parties with neighbors, hitting the golf course and the pool. The drink of this summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs, 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD at 84th and Andermatt and TrekCBD.com. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Don't make a knee-jerk reaction when replacing your air conditioner. Good or bad, the decision you make today will save or waste money for the next 15 to 20 years. Just call Bryant. They offer some of the most efficient air conditioners available, up to 26 SEER. Let Bryant's specialists meet your budget and comfort requirements with their good, better, and best options. Call 467-1111 or visit BryantLincoln.com to schedule your free estimate. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club or space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita club? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge and join the best club in town. 10 flavors of margaritas like Maui Wowie, burnt pineapple, and mango tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco baskets. Grab the crew and head on over Monday nights or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Take your tan to the max at Max Tan. Right now, get 10 days for $10. All levels, including sun, spray, and red light. 4 Lincoln locations make it easy to take your tan to the max with no appointment necessary. 10 days, $10. Details online at maxtan.net.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order your Wingstop online at 28th and Superior, 50th and O Street, and 29th and Pine Lake. Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $22.58 per hour. And other select jobs is starting at $24.28 per hour, with wages growing up to $30.30 per hour. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Nate on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. We are on the rooftop at Barry's here, 9th and Q. Nick Sainert, Eric Strickland, the Husker Hall of Famer, with you. Want to remind you, once again, we're at Barry's from 2 to 6 today, 9th and Q, On the Block and Old School. So we'll be here until 6 p.m. We're on the rooftop patio. Come register for one of 2 pairs of tickets for tomorrow's Nebraska-Georgia Southern football game kickoff. Obviously at 6:30 p.m. We're getting you ready for that one. Come have a drink with us. We are very willing to partake in an alcoholic beverage with whoever stops by. And then you can also come out tonight for alumni nights from 6 to 9:30. Every Friday during the Husker football season, they have drink specials, and the pep band will be playing at 8 p.m. and at 9 p.m. the Friday before every home game, and that includes tonight. So if you're a Nebraska alumni, come on out, 8 p.m., 9 p.m., you'll be able to hear the pep band, and you'll also, as an added bonus, get 10% off of your purchases with your alumni card.
Hey, listen, here's what I will say. Also, after this segment, just know I know some of y'all are scared because Stricky's not in studio right now, so you don't have to do shootout with Strick, and I know I don't have to hit you with the crossover and the pull up and win the game, so you don't have to worry about that. But after this segment, we're going to set it for the third caller that calls in. Not right now,
perfect,
but the third caller that calls in, they're going to be able to win the chicken, and you don't have to fight against Stricky today. So that's one of the good things. But we've got a special guest right now.
We do.
That came in. Look, he's hiding right now. His wonderful partaking of the beverages.
Yes.
He don't have to hide it, but we got one of the greatest to do it on the line. Beside one of my Bellevue West buddies, Mark Trainwitz, Harry Grimminger has joined us. Lineman, offensive guard, specialist in getting it done and moving things and getting it shaken back in the 80s. Out of Grand Island, all-stater. Tell us, man, how you been, what you been up to, and what you think needs to be done is a question I have. First of all, how you doing, how you been? But I want to know when we get finished with that about the offensive line and what we need to do in order to get it back to winning. Y'all was dominating.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Eric. It was a nice surprise to come up here this afternoon and to run into you. That I did not expect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been an assistant principal at Millard West High School now for 22 years, actually. So for a long time, I've devoted my life to being a teacher and school administrator for 32 years, and I continue to do that. Continue to love what I do and enjoy helping kids and supporting teachers, particularly at this time, kind of a tough situation at times with public education.
Yeah.
Teachers are taking some shots at times, but we're doing good work at Millard West, and we'll continue to do that. Mark and I certainly as part of the program and being ingrained in the program and certainly supporters of the program, we're disappointed certainly, and just as Coach Frost is and the staff and the players, we'd certainly like to see the improvement come quicker. At this point, the offensive line and I don't want to pretend that I'm a technical expert any longer
Yeah,
in
yeah.
terms of football's changed so much.
Yeah.
In terms of the rules and in terms of the skills that players have to apply in the game. It does seem that we're young. Our offensive linemen are continuing to develop. And it seems that at this point, really the physicality is important. You read that a lot. I think we see that a lot as well, that it would be nice to be able to get back to knocking people off the ball and changing
pancakes.
Changing the line of scrimmage and those types of things. We're struggling with that right now. I feel good about the young man from the New Mexico Junior College.
Oh, yeah.
Anthony Grant.
Anthony Grant seems to be elusive, and then when he needs to be hard-nosed, he's able to do that. So he's got a little bit of diversity in him and some multiple skills. And so as an offensive lineman, you feel good about having somebody like that. Mark and I, of course, blocked for Mike Rozier.
For sure.
Great player, and it makes our job a lot easier. So I just want to see our young kids continue to develop and be able to lock onto people and change that line of scrimmage.
Yes, sir.
Harry, even though, I mean, you just said, and we all would agree that college football's changed quite a bit since when you played in the 80s. But is there ever a point where mentality changes? Where, I mean, would the mentality that you guys use to be successful, I mean, Big 8 champions at times and things like that, would that mentality still work today in your eyes?
Yeah, I don't know. Back at that time, certainly we were a really physical football team, and we really sought to get off the ball and again change that line of scrimmage. The mentality's probably changed to some extent, certainly, and again in terms of just how the game has evolved and changed. It's difficult at this point with the way the talent and the capabilities of the defensive linemen and their speed and skill and things have become certainly a little bit different, but it's hard. Seems like it's hard to line up and just whip people at the point of attack. But I think certainly that our program can get back to running the football more consistently and then enable the quarterback and receivers to do some different things with play action. And I'd like to see us do some bootleg type things and some counter things and try to get tight ends coming across.
You're speaking a lot of Husker fans language, I think, right now.
And so I've not seen a lot of the counter action that Coach Osborne used to like to use, and some of that, a little bit of that deception and getting receivers
getting the eyes of the linebackers just looking elsewhere, as opposed to just downhill.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So listen, as a sophomore in 1982, you had the privilege of being the backup to the great Dean Steinkuhler, right? Won the 83 Outland and the Lombardi trophies at right guard, was a tremendous lineman. This is a new generation. We're dealing with NIL. We're dealing with transfer portals these days. You guys had the privilege of watching a hierarchy take place, of being under somebody, watching their work ethic, being able to observe how they did their work and they prepared and all of those different things. And that made you much better because you knew what the expectation was. In this generation, how can we get back to that? It's like they're not hitting this the same way you used to. They're not putting in the practice times and being able to put pad to pad the way. How can we do that in this day when we need to get back to the physicalness that we used to see?
Well, I wish I knew the answer to that, Eric, because as I hear you ask that question, it's interesting because we had to work so hard to rise to the opportunity to play. At that time, it took us 2-3 years before we were physically and mentally capable of emerging as players. And you had to fight through a lot of quality players. You had to work extremely hard. You had to build yourself physically. You had to build yourself mentally to be able to get into the lineup. Maybe if you were lucky as a junior. Mark played a fair amount of snaps as a sophomore, so he was a little ahead of the game. As I read some of the kids' make comments about they came to Nebraska because of the NIL opportunities. To me, that's the wrong motivation to come to a program to play. I hate to see the fact that kids are coming because of money. And so that's been a huge shift. And so getting kids in the mindset of just continual improvement and making progress towards being the best they can possibly be for the right reasons, just for the love of the game.
Yeah.
And that's why we played. And boy, that's changing. And, Coach Saban at Alabama, got himself into some trouble talking about that. And so the old school guys recognize that money can't be the only motivator. And man, the coaches that balance that the best and coordinate the best are probably going to have the best teams.
Harry, we were here at the Berries Rooftop, Strick and Nick with you on the block. We're here with former Husker All-American offensive guard Harry Grimminger. I want to ask you one more question before we take a break. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening on the block on 93.7 The Ticket.
Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Nick Sander, Eric Strickland back with you, Berries Rooftop, 9th and Q. We are sitting here. Make sure you come on out. We'll be out here till 6 as DP and J Form will be here doing their old school show from 4 to 6 p.m. We're sitting down with Harry Grimminger, former Husker All-American offensive guard, played in the early 80s for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. And Harry, when we talked about Dean Steinkuhler and things like that, and we talk about this hierarchy, there's a sense of leadership that is also involved in that process. Talk about some of the leaders and any stories you maybe remember of just those teaching moments, right? And rather than looking at things as mistakes, looking at things as lessons from a leadership standpoint.
So before I do that, how much am I being paid for this?
A good drink.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll enjoy a drink.
A great drink on Stricky.
Well, and that's what you see a lot about leadership and captains and that kind of thing in this day and age. And I don't know. I think Mark would agree with this, that I feel like back in the 80s with that group in 83 in particular, with our offensive line, I feel like we each took individual responsibility and accountability for ourselves.
Gotcha.
And so certainly we looked up to Dean Steinkuhler. We looked up to Scott Reardon. They were a couple of the seniors on that offensive line when we were so good in 83 offensively. But I feel like there was just that sense that you were responsible for yourself and you were responsible for your own improvement. And personally,
you weren't coddled then. You weren't basically babied and, oh, come on. You guys took onus to it.
Yeah,
basically.
That's an interesting observation, Eric, because I think that's what to some extent certainly happens in this day and age.
Yeah.
But we were held responsible for ourselves, and I was a guy that I was not terribly talented, but I worked awful hard to be as good as I could be, and I was always looking over my shoulder because there was somebody behind me that was coming
away.
And so I took responsibility for my own personal improvement, and then certainly my role within that offensive line. So I don't know that Mark was a captain when we were seniors, but I didn't really depend upon a captain to get me going. I depended upon my own inner drive and my intrinsic motivation. So
this is the last question, and then we'll let you go so I can, make sure Absolutely. I pay my debt. You said something that was very interesting, and I think about the coaches because the old school coaches are definitely dealing with that. I think that's why some of them are starting to exit stage left, is because these continuous changes, and there doesn't seem to be like the Wild Wild West is getting any less wild at this point. But I will say I've been observing something, and I watched it on the internet, and it was Deion Sanders. And I found that it was a unique, different thing in that not just because it's an HBCU, but you can just see that the players are actually there because of the atmosphere, the love, the just what he's given back and pouring into them. And it doesn't have to do with NIL because let's be real about it. Jackson State ain't going to have this big NIL opportunity. So he had the best player of his class come to the school And I've watched the clip of him when Deion looked him in his face, spoke life into him. And the young man, as he was starting to go away, he grabs him and just hugged him and told him, "I thank you. I appreciate you. I love you." And they'll run through a freaking wall for him. That's the purity that you're talking about when you're talking about the difference of when you want to and why you want to go to school. Just elaborate a little bit more on that.
Yeah.
What was it like? Because you had some of the greatest coaches in there, and they stayed here. They could have went anywhere. You see coaches today getting opportunities, they're bouncing. But there's something that had you to feel that way.
Yeah, and that's Deion Sanders. I'm not a Deion Sanders expert, but he's trying to approach it from, as you say, the purity of the game and trying to connect with kids for the right reasons. And the staff at that time back in the 80s was a staff that was with Coach Osborne for the duration.
Yes.
I mean, those were long-term guys, and they understood the mission, they understood the journey, and they understood what we were about. And they knew what we could do well, and they knew what we couldn't do well. And we knew
you had an identity.
We knew who we were,
Mm-hmm.
and they capitalized on that, and they utilized that, and they rode it as far as they could. And then they came up with alternative opportunities or strategies if they had to. But they knew what worked, and they knew what they believed in, and they stuck with it.
That's awesome.
And the consistency was critical at that time. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Again, we're here with Harry Grimminger, former lineman back in the 80s, All-American, out of Grand Island, Northwest Vikings.
Actually, Grand Island Senior High Islanders, man, that's
that?
blasphemy.
Hey, no, look. I know you were not, but they're saying go Northwest.
No, that's
But now Millard West, right?
Excellent.
But one of the beautiful things that we shared and you shared as you worked side by side, purple and gold, baby.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was the one thing we did share.
Again, it's a nice surprise to run into you guys, and thank you for.
Yeah, that was
Harry Grimminger joined us, and again, the third caller right now, call in. You're going to be able to get that great chicken at Wings. What is it?
$15 to Buffalo Wings
Buffalo
and Rings.
Wings and Rings. Dang, I almost dropped the ball.
That's right. That's okay.
But at the end of the day, third caller, Buffalo Wings and Rings. See, that's the thing.
And Wings and Rings. And if you still want to just shout into the phone, shut up, Strick.
Shut up, Strick.
We can do that.
Yeah. I'm going to let Nick take it.
All right, so we'll be back. We're sitting here on the rooftop. Barry's 9th and Q. If you're just getting off work, we're going to be here till 6. So there's no better place to get yourself ready for the weekend and ready for this Nebraska-Georgia Southern game than right here on the rooftop at Barry's. They got multiple
Legends
bars,
in the house.
so we're ready to roll. It's Nick Sainert, Eric Strickland hanging out with you. Jake Sorensen's here, DP, and the Husker
Mark
Hall
Twain
of Famer.
was-
Yeah, Chris Raff is here as well. But no,
Drive.
DP and Jay Foreman will
We're
be
all
in
in the
momentarily. We'll be right back. You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs, or get down with some dumbbells and strength equipment. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 14th. It's glow time. See club for details.
They might win, they might lose, but either way, you have something to say about it. Don't miss the Husker After Party postgame show immediately following every Nebraska football game. Nick Sainert and Jake Bakoven give instant reaction, quotes from the players and coaches, and take all your phone calls with thoughts on the game. It's the Husker After Party postgame show, only on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sponsored by Action Plumbing and Heating, Gary Michaels Quilliers, and Brent Excavate.
Mark your calendars for the St. Wenceslas Brewfest on Saturday, September 10th in Milligan. Savor a delicious selection of Czech beer and cuisine while listening to live bands. And there's kids' activities too. It's the St. Wenceslas Brewfest on September 10th in Milligan. Steve's Garage Doors and Services is under new management, but has the same great service as before. If your current garage door seems outdated or isn't working properly, call their new number at 402-480-2840 to schedule service or get a new door ordered.
Steve's can repair most types of garage doors and can always point you in the right direction to get the job done. Give Steve's Garage Doors and Services a call today at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Trendy or traditional, Gary Michaels Clothiers specializes in men's tailored clothing. Off the rack or custom made to measure, there is simply no better shopping experience. Offering designer furnishings, sportswear, shoes, outerwear, and accessories for a man always concerned at looking his best. With world-class tailoring and personal service, all makes Gary Michaels Clothiers Nebraska's premier store for men. Come visit us now at Village Gardens, south of 56th and Pine Lake Road in Lincoln.
In today's day and age, people are trying to do more and more projects by themselves. That might be better on the wallet, but it can also lead to painful sounds like this. Ow! Poor guy, trying to do wiring all by himself. Let's have another listen. It's just not worth it. Don't hurt yourself or make things worse than they are already. For any of your electric needs, call Joe at Ambition Electric today at 402-217-3415 or go to ambitionelectric.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
We stand on the shoulders of women who came before us.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn.
Join us. Visit WeSaySaveIt.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
This is On the Block with Strick and Nate. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
And Hokie Homer turned Husker, Nathan Brennan.
Everyone knows that I'm the smartest person here.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Nate.
Literally. And I say literally. Literally, the boys were back in town. Two greats from the 80s that opened up huge holes for Mike Rozier. Got it done. Mark Schwangeritz at center and his guy, offensive guard, Harry Grimminger.
Yeah, they're on their way to a 6-man football game right now as well. They were telling us. So
and look, that's what happens when you're on the block, man. Sometimes people just show up,
just rolling.
When
on
you're just
through.
sitting on the block, you know, you're just.
We did not know that was coming.
We
Strick.
did not know that was coming. That came just out of the air. And shout out to Chris Raff from The Drive.
Yeah, big time.
They happened to just be sitting at the other side of the bar, and all of a sudden, here they came.
Yep.
That's what's up, man.
Blessings,
awesome.
Blessings keep falling into our lap.
No question about it.
I want to address this before we dive back into Nebraska football. Chris asks on the text line 402-464-5685, the Honda Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line, or the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button on the YouTube. if you do on the YouTube, if you do make it over there. Chris asks, are you guys doing the Lincoln East game tonight? Yes, we are. Jay Foreman and myself will be live from Seacrest about 6:50 p.m. or so. We'll have your pregame show leading you up to kickoff between the 2-0 Silverhawks and the 1-1 Lincoln East Spartans. So
nice.
We'll have that game. Jay Foreman, myself, will have that game for you coming your way at 7 p.m. tonight.
Well, we wanted to get back to something that we love that interruption. That interruption.
Oh, yeah, we're not complaining
We're
at
not
all.
complaining about that interruption. But there was something Stricky and Nikki we threw out there on the block where Christian in Lincoln on the text line says, still will be shocked if they fire him mid-season. Someone has to coach the team. That was the question that Stricky threw out to Nick. Nick didn't get a chance to answer.
Yeah.
We were pleasantly interrupted by a group of great linemen, of Husker linemen of the past, legends. And I'm throwing it back to you.
Yeah.
Buying or selling, Scott Frost, if you have a rough outing against Georgia Southern, you get beat handily. Not to say you got blown, but you get beat handily by Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And you show up with mediocrity against Indiana with a bad showing. Does Scott Frost make it past October 1st?
So with that in your mind, I'm going to immediately say selling. The reason why is
wait a second.
Yeah, no,
he's selling. Hotline 402-464-5685. Buy or sell, we want to know. Talk to us.
I'm going to say sell because with that in mind, I thought Indiana was going to be one of the worst teams in the conference, and they still might be. But I actually took some stock into Illinois, and Illinois went on the road at Indiana and lost. So with that in mind, I don't think mediocrity is going to allow you to just automatically beat Indiana. So if that's the case, then we're chalking up Indiana as a loss. And immediately a season that you saw possibly going 5-0 or 4-1 is now you're 2-3
with the schedule. That's what's throwing me
off. So here's the thing: like at some point, you gotta pull the plug. And now, do I think we're going to get to that part? No. Or get to that point? No, I do not think so, because I think they will beat Georgia Southern handily tomorrow. I truly do. And we got some Georgia Southern fans
in here.
How about that? Georgia Southern fans.
Hey.
How about that?
They're in the house.
Welcome to the town.
We have
Welcome
drinks
to
with
town.
them. Have fun.
How about that? But no, I hope they come over and sit down, hang out with us.
We'll talk to them too.
Yeah, no, for sure. But anyway, I think you handle Georgia Southern handily tomorrow, and then I think you bounce back and hopefully they put up a strong enough performance against Oklahoma. But here's the thing, Strick. I don't think an Oklahoma win negates multiple Big Ten losses.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't think one single win against a top 10 program in Oklahoma negates 4.5 to 5 years of Big Ten losses.
Mm-hmm.
You have to remember that would be Scott Frost's first win over a top 25 program next week against Oklahoma. You have to think about how you're still under 500 to every single Big Ten West program out there.
Big Ten West and Power 5 schools.
Yeah. And so in the grand scheme of things, I think you need to look at what is the more reachable goal? Is it being a program on the national stage, or is it being a nationally relevant, or excuse me, a relevant program on the conference stage? And the more reachable goal right now, in my opinion, and I think a lot of Husker fans would agree with me, is competing for the Big Ten West and competing for a Big Ten championship. So you have to ask yourself, does one singular win against a top 10 program outside of the Big Ten Conference, it's not like we're talking Ohio State here or Michigan, does one singular win against Oklahoma erase or help you with the taste of losing to Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Northwestern every single year? And I don't think it does. It's a great win on the resume, but at the end of the season, if Nebraska is 5-7 or 4-8 and they have a win against Oklahoma, but then losses and you're still not in a bowl game, how excited or how proud are you of this season that you put on?
Well, what I will say is, people are saying, and one texter says they won't fire him until November, and I ask why. I disagree. That's a question for me. I would have to disagree as well. I would want to know why would you wait till November if October? I think you could very well turn it over to Whipple. I think he's been a head coach before. He's been there. If you need an interim,
well, it's
I think you could turn it over to Joseph.
I was to say you turn over. You would assume that they turn it over to the associate head coach,
Which
Mickey
is
Joseph,
Joseph.
in this situation.
Yeah.
I don't think here's the thing, Strick. Trev Alberts is one of the most no BS type of guys in that athletic department right now.
Yeah.
Right. And he cares about the details. He cares about
He's visionary.
And
he's not looking at the
he
small
has his
scale.
hand on that soul of the program,
Mhm,
the
mhm.
soul of the athletic department. He has his hand, his palm, and his attention on. So with that in mind, I would not be surprised. Here's the thing. Worst case scenario is that you lose the next 3 games or even the next 2. They lose Georgia Southern and they lose Oklahoma. I think it does send a message to your program and to your fan base if you fire him before the October 1st deadline. I think it does. And we always talk about, we always say this blanket statement of there's enough money in Nebraska and things like that. And there's enough money within this athletic department. Saving the $7.5 million is great, but there's a way that your season could still be salvageable after 4 games.
Yeah, because you're still looking at the Big Ten.
Yep, there's a reason that your season could still be salvageable after 4 games. And that's where we'd be at after Oklahoma. You don't want to let this thing drag on. And Trev Alberts, like I said, most no BS guy in that athletic department. He's got a vision. He knows what's going to work, and he understands what needs to happen if it needs to happen to get the job done. And I think it's safe to say also that there's going to be a lot of Husker fans that would back Trev up in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Based on I keep every couple months, right? I always sit back and I think back to myself about this first year that Trev Alberts has had to endure. NCAA violations, a losing football program, a struggling men's basketball program, questions about head coaches.
Baseball
falls off after a Big Ten title. But you have to deal with questions about Scott Frost, Fred Hoiberg. Like there's a lot, and then a lot of internal stuff that we never even hear about.
Yeah.
Wow. In the middle of all that, in the midst, I go to a softball game at 12 o'clock on a Sunday and Trev Alberts is there. I go to a women's basketball game at 3 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon and Trev Alberts is there. He gets it. He understands what is needed in the athletic department and the fan base of Nebraska, that they want to feel like they are connected. And he is that bridge between the fans and the athletic department. So I think there's a lot of Husker fans. I just think there's a lot of Husker fans that would back Trev Alberts up in a heartbeat, including myself.
Yeah.
Because whatever he decides, because we have a lot of faith in him, I think it's a leader.
Well, for me, I mean, when I look at it, I'm looking at some of the textures and it comes in. One of the textures says that if they go 3-1,
yeah, it's great.
That I mean, look, I'm all for it. I mean, I want it, but also you have to understand that there's a possibility that it can go the other way. What happens or what do you do? You have to have contingency plans on anything that happens, right?
Yes, like Missy Mudog says, hopefully if we are 3-1 after 4 games, you guys aren't this negative. I don't know if it's necessarily being negative. And I also hope that Nebraska is 3-1, right? Because that sense, once again, you talk about momentum and you talk about Nebraska being able to win 3 games on the road, in a row. The conversations that we were having before Northwestern Strick when we looked at the schedule was, man, there's a way that Nebraska gets the first 3 wins of the season, and who knows what the conversation is, who knows what the feeling is around Nebraska football, and who knows how smooth this thing looks, because we unfortunately haven't seen it. And they could still do that. They still could. Like there's something electric about when a top 10 program comes into Memorial Stadium and Nebraska, let's say, has a 2-game winning streak at the time, right? And like that's where there is value. I've said it a lot this show already. There is value in these two games, North Dakota and Georgia Southern, because you can build.
Yes,
you can progress.
Yes,
on what you did against North Dakota and what you did against Georgia Southern that can take you into the Oklahoma game.
Yeah,
right. And there's value here, so you don't want to just chalk it up as a gimme game, because you don't want to walk into any game. And Nebraska doesn't have the luxury to walk into any game and say this is a gimme game for us.
Yeah, I don't think that in any point, in any form or fashion, I really do. I looked at this schedule and I really felt that there is a tremendous opportunity. You're talking about 7 home games outside of the neutral game.
Mm-hmm.
You have 7 at home. The schedule is very conducive.
Yep.
You've got revenge games in there that you should have circled because you took L's from these teams on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And then you've got the last revenge games outside of the Michigan game, which is on the road in the big house. I still think they're capable.
That's the thing. It's they're capable. They just got to get into a well-oiled machine. They got to figure out.
That's the part.
They just got to figure out a relationship or a marriage that works, and that's where there's value in these 2 games. Is because you're going to be able to try a couple things out. Tater says this: does an Oklahoma win cancel out the Northwestern loss? I think people might just think our new team was a little unprepared, having so many new players on the offense and defense.
I don't think it's a cancel.
I don't think it cancels out.
I think it's a. I think
it might help.
Yeah, I think.
But once again, then you have the Big Ten West
That's
conversation. And what have you done for me lately? And lately, in a matter of 4 years, it hasn't been very, very successful. Does it cancel out?
I think it depends on
so. That's a point. In terms of people might think that our new team was just a little unprepared. I have this weird feeling and thought maybe I'm different and maybe I'm off in my own little area on my own thinking about this. Is at some point you got to stop the excuses.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, every college football team has to deal with the transfers. Every college football team, you had a clear schematic advantage against Northwestern. I don't want to dive deep into Northwestern. I'm tired of that. But you had a clear schematic advantage against Northwestern. I do know we do have John Squire on the Honda of Lincoln hotline. John, go ahead and hold on. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We definitely want to get your call immediately after this break. But you guys should come out and join us. DP's in the house, and so he's getting ready for Jake Sorensen is mad because I didn't mention him. Chris Raff is also here sitting next to me as well, so he's not mad. But we'll be right back. You're listening to On the Block. Stricky and Nicky, Stricky and Thicky. We'll be right back. Stricky and Thicky. We'll be right back on The Ticket.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is under new management, but has the same great service as before. If your current garage door seems outdated or isn't working properly, call their new number at 402-480-2840 to schedule service or get a new door ordered. Steve's can repair most types of garage doors and can always point you in the right direction to get the job done. Give Steve's Garage Doors and Services a call today at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840.
Tractor Supply is looking for full-time team members for their Waverly Distribution Center. Applicants can expect a 3- and 4-day work week schedule with additional overtime days with both day and night shift schedules available. Stand-up forklift and high-reach forklift experience is a plus for open positions, but they're willing to train for those without experience. At Tractor Supply, they work hard, have fun, and make money. Apply today at tractorsupply.jobs.
If you need to sell equipment and trucks, Ritchie Brothers' new Lincoln Satellite Yard lets you free up space at your property and get local access to all Ritchie Brothers auctions. Drop your equipment off and sell it online at any Ritchie Brothers auction, Iron Planet, or via Marketplace E. The yard is at 8801 US 6, Lincoln. It's secure and makes for easy in-person buyer inspections and pickup. Take advantage of this yard to sell at Ritchie Brothers' Great Plains Regional Auction, September 15th and 16th. For details, visit rbauction.com/Lincoln.
Trendy or traditional, Gary Michaels Clothiers specializes in men's tailored clothing. Off the rack or custom made to measure, there is simply no better shopping experience. Offering designer furnishings, sportswear, shoes, outerwear, and accessories for a man always concerned at looking his best. With world-class tailoring and personal service, all makes Gary Michaels Clothiers Nebraska's premier store for men. Come visit us now at Village Gardens, south of 56th and Pine Lake Road in Lincoln.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. Summer is here, and that means you're having garage parties with neighbors, hitting the golf course and the pool. The drink of this summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs, 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD at 84th and Andermatt and TrekCBD.com. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your Nebraska-owned premier John Deere dealership. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
Cooler temps moving into the region today. We'll see an afternoon high of around 82. The wind's a little breezy, north-northeast, gusting over 25. Rain is expected to move into the region late tonight with a low of 57. We'll continue with a chance of rain throughout much of our Saturday and see a very chilly day with a high of 67. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at Wingstop.com.
Order your Wingstop online at 28th and Superior, 50th and O Street, and 29th and Pine Lake.
Put a frog in a pot of boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in a pot of cool water and slowly heat it up, that frog will boil. As a metaphor for us and all that we go through as veterans, it's a story that rings true. We learn to endure the heat in silence. We apply what we learn to life. The bills, the job, the family, things we're expected to handle with ease. When life heats up around us, we just try to stay afloat. We let the water boil. Reaching out isn't easy, but you've never been interested in easy. You join because you are not afraid of hard work. You are not a frog. If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait until the water boils. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach. Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Nate on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, we're dancing on the block.
Dancing,
sipping
yeah,
on a
that's
brew.
what we'll call
We tried to tell you to come out here and toast one with us, but that's okay. Georgia Southern popped
Georgia
in.
Southern came out. They got in this
They
morning.
said they want to get with it. They want to have a good time with the Huskers. but they said they're
Can't blame
worried
them.
about tomorrow night. But my question real quick, we got John Squire on the line, right?
We do on the Honda Lincoln Hotline.
On the Lincoln Hotline.
John, what's up? Happy Friday, man. How are we feeling today?
Is he there? Did he leave us?
Oh no, John.
John, you gotta hang out through the commercials, my boy. You can't.
John,
we gotta pay bills.
John, if you're listening, call us back.
Call back, bro.
For sure, call us back, and we'll definitely get you on. He probably is.
Yeah.
He probably is. So, John, if you're listening, go ahead and give us a call back, give us a ring. And while we do, let's dive into NFL, Strick.
A little bit of NFL work. Hey, it
stuff.
started. It popped off last night.
Yep.
And what better way to pop it off than to have the last year's champions go against the Bills, who fell in a unbelievable way in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But listen, I told everybody on the block yesterday, Nate documented it. I said they beat handily the Rams. He said they wouldn't. Stricky, you see, if you listen on the block, Stricky, you might win some money. Stricky gonna tell you what it is.
You got to win the money.
I said they're gonna handily beat them. I'm Josh Allen, MVP.
Yeah.
He played a wonderful, phenomenal game yesterday. Man, 2 interceptions though. Okay, 2 interceptions.
I would argue that those 2 picks aren't his fault.
They really
though.
weren't his fault.
The first one, the guy just got stripped, took it out of his hands. Second one was kind of a weird one. The pass was a little bit behind the receiver.
Yeah.
Receiver kind of stopped across the middle of the field. And you could argue like that the receiver did not pursue the football, did not go after it. He kind of just sat back and give credit to the defensive back. I can't remember who it was for the Rams that picked him off, but give credit because he went and pursued the football. It wasn't Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
Did you see Jalen Ramsey?
He got
allowed?
smoked.
Yeah, he got smoked, and he was talking stuff to Stephon Diggs. But here's the deal: Stephon Diggs had 100 and some receiving yards last night. And another thing, more importantly, Jalen Ramsey allowed a perfect passer rating when he was the nearest defender last night.
Yeah.
A perfect passer rating when he was the nearest defender last night.
And you know he didn't like it, Nick.
Yikes.
You know he didn't like it.
Yikes.
Here's why he didn't like it. He basically threw the whole defensive coordinator crew, Brandon Staley, Raheem Morris, he threw them under the bus because he said basically the Rams took a bend, don't break, played way too much zone. He felt he needed to lock up Stephon Diggs solo dolo, wasn't able to get it done in any fashion, whether it be zone or not. Had a tremendous day. I still think something to look at is I tell people all the time, people don't understand Josh Allen's, his ability and mobility to run and to escape and to cause and keep plays alive. But then you saw him get out. He rolled out to the right and slung that thing to a streaking Stephon Diggs that just happened to get over the arm of Jalen Ramsey. I mean, that's the type of thing you're dealing with, and that's why I think he's the guy this year.
Yeah, you got that, and then also on a scramble play inside the red zone, he scrambled. I thought he was going to get stood up at about the 1 or 2 yard line, and then he just uses his length to reach the ball over the goal line, which that's heady. That's an extremely athletic play, especially as a quarterback, because a lot of times quarterbacks, number one, they don't want to get hit, which I'm not saying Josh Allen does. They don't want to get hit. And
he don't mind it.
And a lot of the time,
he didn't slide one time. When did you see him slide all night?
Nah, there was not really.
He put his head down every time.
But yeah, he put his head down. But like, here's the thing: it's like he's built, and a lot of people just say that built different. But he, from an actual standpoint, he is just built like no other quarterback in the league, and he uses it to his strength, whether like you said, mobility or just straight up arm strength. I actually think he's gotten maybe a little bit stronger as well. Over the course of the offseason, because he looked like he had a little more zip on that ball yesterday. And here's the thing with the Bills, Strick, when you look at Gabriel Davis and Isaiah McKenzie, I mean, they released Cole Beasley, so they're looking for somebody to kind of fill that slot position that they relied on Cole Beasley to fill last season. But now you sit here and you see Isaiah McKenzie, who scored a touchdown, which was a very smart play by McKenzie. They broke it down on NBC, but it was a very smart play. I'm not sure if you remember it. They're inside the red zone, and he kind of stutter steps a little bit, takes his time, allows the play to develop, then breaks. And he gets that pass, the reception down the middle of the field and scores a touchdown. Isaiah McKenzie does. which was kind of impressive there. Just the football IQ there. But no, they have McKenzie. Isn't he with the Broncos anymore, Ref? Exactly. So Isaiah McKenzie, you have Gabriel Davis, and Stephon Diggs, and not to mention Dawson Knox.
Well, here's what I like. I think one of the biggest coups and steal of the offseason was Von Miller.
He still got it.
Listen, Von Miller came with the heat. He had 2 sacks. He took the pressure off of the defensive line. The return of Jordan Phillips, he was a former Bill, left, went, did his thing, made his way back. He had a sack and a half. AJ Epinesa had a sack and a half.
Former Hawkeye.
Former Hawkeye. And Boogie Basham had a sack. Listen, they were getting it done, and the pressure was in Stafford's face all night. 7 sacks, my boy.
Yeah, 7 sacks. And I also saw this. The Bills didn't blitz. They didn't have a design blitz.
They didn't do it.
Not one single play was a design blitz.
Love it.
Even yards last night was 21. And he's trying to fill in as their next OBJ / Robert Woods guy.
Yeah.
And if they're only expecting him to get around 21 yards in a game, that's not very good, especially with the quarterback by like
Allen Robinson's old.
Allen Robinson, you don't really know because he had a couple years in Chicago where he was like their number 1 target.
Yeah,
but they just never had a quarterback that could throw to him, whether
They
it's
should've got
Mitchell Trubisky or Justin Fields.
They should bring back Terrell Owens. Did you see Terrell Owens run that?
No, I did
that
not.
40-yard dash and get it. They should bring T.O. back.
I did not. But no, so I mean, there's OBJ was awkwardly on the sideline last night getting his Super Bowl ring, and so they're trying to figure out what's next for him. Cooper Kupp's still a top 3 wide receiver in the league. I was surprised to see as much Darrell
15
Henderson.
targets, 13 catches.
Yeah,
that's phenomenal.
Yeah,
and they know they're going your way.
100%.
Come on, bro.
I mean, it allows. If I'm the defense, I'm looking at Skoranek in the eyes and go, try to beat me, man. Try to beat me, because I'm gonna take myself over you kind of every day, and that's no disrespect. It's just the way of the lay of the land. But now Darrell Henderson and Cam Akers are going to be splitting time, I suppose. They were heavy on Darrell Henderson to start the game last night. Although Cam Akers, they were high on out of the draft out of Florida State, but they went with Darrell Henderson. So I guess it is what it is. And here's the thing, though. The Bills don't have an easy schedule. The Bills are going to get tested here. They have the Titans in some order. Titans, Dolphins, Packers, I believe, are all on – maybe not the Packers. But they have – I was looking at their schedule this morning on the drive with AD and Raf, and they have quite the tough slate ahead for themselves as they're probably the Super Bowl favorites right now, rightfully so. We're still waiting to see what the Buccaneers look like on Sunday Night Football against the Cowboys. Still looking what the Packers look like without Devontae Adams and things like that. So I don't know, but it was a good first game.
So Nick, let me throw this question out to you: this upcoming schedule for the weekend.
Yeah.
What are your top 3 games that you're expecting to have some of the same type of excitement that you had on Thursday night?
So you got the games pulled up here. I'm looking towards that Pats Dolphins game a little bit.
Why?
I'm intrigued to see what Tua looks like. Yeah, obviously, but digging a little bit deeper, I'm intrigued to see what Tua looks like without Brian Flores. I'm curious to see that. I'm curious to see what kind of role their running backs play, because Myles Gaskin kind of, and maybe Jake can back me up on this. Myles Gaskin had a decent back half of the year. He's the 4th string now because they brought in the guy from Arizona, right? Chase Edmonds. They brought in Chase Edmonds. And so Raheem Mostert as well from San Francisco.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jake. So here's the thing is they were okay there with Edmonds and Mostert. Mostert's one of the fastest guys in the league. Just people don't know about it because he doesn't get a lot of big runs. Another one that I'm looking for, Obviously, the Sunday night matchup between the Bucs and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
What does Dak look like? What did the Cowboys offense look like without Amari Cooper? And the running back situation. Because I had a bold take today that Tony Pollard might have a better season than Ezekiel Elliott this season.
Since you're on that, I'm going to agree, but I'm looking at it because of what Gisele Bündchen. How is that going to affect Tom Brady in this upcoming game? His preparation, because that's what he's really good at, the preparation, the mental preparations coming into a game. And when you have that type of stuff on your mind, how does that affect you? That's what I want to see.
And last but not least, because I got to get out of here. Last but not least, Raiders and Chargers. I'm high on the Raiders this year. I think the Raiders are a better team than the Chargers. I'm not high on Justin Herbert. A lot of people are ready just to give him kind of like a top 5 quarterback in the NFL nod. I'm not there yet, unfortunately. And so I like Keenan Allen. I like Austin Eckler and things like that. Mike Williams is still there, I believe. And they added Khalil Mack to their defense, the Chargers did.
But that's where I say they're dangerous.
The Raiders are interesting because they have, obviously Darren Waller. They have Josh Jacobs, who's healthy right now. That's a key. Derek Carr, who is their quarterback, obviously. And then adding a top 5 receiver in the league, and Devontae Adams will always help you out in the long run, I'm sure.
Well, Nick's going to have to bow. We're going to take a break in a second, but I am going to throw out one more because I agree with him on those. But the other one I'm interested in seeing is the Broncos Seahawks. Not because there's anything that the Seahawks going to be able to throw at this Broncos team. The Broncos team, I got one of the best out of that division. But I just want to see what Russell Wilson's going to do against the Seahawks team, where there was so much, internal strife that was going on. At the end of the day, I want to see how that's going to go. We're going to take a break. We're going to bring in DP to finish off this segment on the crossover. When we come back to finish off this segment, and we're on the block. We are on the block here at Barry's. We're going to the pen with DP. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. We'll be right back at Barry's on 9th and Key. Peace.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your Nebraska-owned premier John Deere dealership. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Trendy or traditional, Gary Michaels Clothiers specializes in men's tailored clothing. Off the rack or custom made to measure, there is simply no better shopping experience. Offering designer furnishings, sportswear, shoes, outerwear, and accessories for a man always concerned at looking his best. With world-class tailoring and personal service, all makes Gary Michaels Clothiers Nebraska's premier store for men. Come visit us now at Village Gardens, south of 56th and Pine Lake Road in Lincoln.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. Summer is here, and that means you're having garage parties with neighbors, hitting the golf course and the pool. The drink of this summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs, 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD at 84th and Andermatt and TrekCBD.com. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustace Body Shop, just south of 88th and Highway 2.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
If you need to sell equipment and trucks, Ritchie Brothers' new Lincoln Satellite Yard lets you free up space at your property and get local access to all Ritchie Brothers auctions. Drop your equipment off and sell it online at any Ritchie Brothers auction, Iron Planet, or via Marketplace E. The yard is at 8801 US 6 Lincoln. It's secure and makes for easy in-person buyer inspections and pickup. Take advantage of this yard to sell at Ritchie Brothers' Great Plains Regional Auction, September 15th and 16th. For details, visit rbauction.com/Lincoln.
My computer was a dinosaur, and our TV, well, let's just say it was definitely time for an upgrade. But finding a way wasn't so simple. And then I found it, a research study at Solarion. I searched the studies and found a perfect match for me. I earned cash for the study and was able to make those much-needed upgrades. Plus, I made an impact on medical research. Find a study and sign up today at helpresearch.com.
You should consider the risks of the research before you agree to participate.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Empire Fence and Netting in Waverly is now hiring for several positions. They're looking for a fence installer for both commercial and residential, for local projects, and ones that require travel. They also have openings for operators, dirt work, welding positions, and applicants with CDLs are very desirable. If you're looking for a locally operated business that provides excellent work for customers and great benefits and care for its employees, email info@empire-fence.com or give them a call at 402-682-7658. Empire Fence and Netting.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Into the building for the first time after the shooting. It was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Nate on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're on the final segment here on the block. Before we cross it over with old school, again, we're here at Barry's on 9th and Q. We've had a wonderful time thus far. The drinks are absolutely amazing. The atmosphere is amazing. It's a wonderful breeze. It's a beautiful day, a wonderful night. We're at the rooftop at the patio. Come again and register for one of 2 pairs of tickets for tomorrow's Nebraska-Georgia Southern game. It's a night game tomorrow. Come and have a drink with us. Enjoy this time with us. Alumni's Night is also here every Friday during the season before the games from 6 to 9:30. And you will have the pep band that plays from 8 and also at 9 on Fridays. They'll come in and get it started. GBR. While we're up in the spot, alumni get a 10% off discount off the purchases on if you have your alumni card. So that is a beautiful thing that you get to tap in on, man. They love Huskers and Husker football out here. We got Husker fans out here. We got Georgia Southern fans. We've got DP, the great, the wonderful, the mighty, the man.
Sir.
I'm just the man next to the man.
Next to the man.
Next to the man. And the next to the man is over there. His name is Jake Sorensen.
Yeah.
But DP, listen, I threw this out there a little bit earlier, and I want to pass it along to you. One of the things that we talked about is the progression of the schedule that is given that's given Nebraska a test in different aspects of their either deficiencies, weakness, be able to make sure they shore up or close any gaps or any breaches, whether it be in the front line or whatnot. So each of their games that they played, now we're going to face a Georgia Southern team, new coach, new offense. We've got a quarterback that is very familiar with us, who was in Buffalo last year, now playing here. They're going to pass this ball. And one of the things that we haven't fully seen yet is a pass rush. What are you hoping to see tomorrow in this game, both on the defensive side as well as the offensive side, in order to make you feel good about how Nebraska is going to be able to move forward?
After looking at their game film from last week, where they put up 50 plus, a couple of things jump out at you. First of all, this is quick, short game passing.
West Coast offense.
Spread it, get it out of your hand, get it into space, let your athletes be athletic, try to get a win in space, and then take something small, make it big. Also, they're going to spread out that front, Nebraska front. They're going to spread them out. Pass pressure against this sort of system happens by accident. It happens by being patient and allowing quarterbacks to step into your space, having quarterbacks have to pass through the window that our defensive ends and boundaries will set up to dirty up that passing window, make them pull it down, and then they can get to work. The things that are going to be required for Nebraska defensively is to have these long, tall defensive backs make defensive plays in open space, which is, as you said, in the progression. Week 1 didn't look good in open space. Week 2 was a bit better, but still not the black shirt standard for sure. So then it becomes now a smaller group of jitterbug, scat back type wide receivers, little dudes who move well in space, open space. So defensive back breakdown, linebackers closing and helping compress, right? Second defender to the ball, that sort of stuff. And that's where your edge setters. And again, if you're setting Garrett Nelson and Caleb Tanner into pass pressure, that takes them out of pass defense. And then some of your best tacklers have to go from hash to numbers. And having Reimers and Heinrich and Hausman have to go from inside hash to numbers on the outside, close it, be patient, disciplined, don't overrun it, because little dude will put his foot in the ground, juke you, and have you spin wheeling out to the sideline. All of these things will be identified early tomorrow. What they're gonna come out with. Vantese, who was here, was a Buffalo. He wants it out of his hand quick, short to space. He wants clean windows, which is their offensive line's job. It's not to hold and manipulate. What they want to do is maneuver Nebraska defenders out of passing windows based on the play call. That's it. They don't need to be silverbacks, throw them to the ground, pancake. No, what they want to do is occupy Garrett Nelson's hands. They want to occupy O'Shawn Mathis's hands, right, to get him out of those windows on the edge for those 2 outside passes they like to throw, and then to get them leaning outside so that the windows inside open up wider. Then we get into our mesh concepts, our crossers with the 2 slot guys, the running back out of the backfield as well. So they'll test discipline, patience, and then, quite frankly, understanding of football principles. Like, are they willing to just go, I'm not here for the highlight play. I'm here to make the necessary play. Look, Cute will get you beat tomorrow. Cute will turn that building into a morgue. Don't be cute. Be right. Do your job. Be in place. Be a good teammate, right?
Be disciplined.
Right? Same thing in basketball. Listen, if I'm going to spread you out, I've still got to be tied to you. I got to know what's going on. If somebody breaks you to the basket, I got to know that I got to defend the space that you were in. I also got to make sure that I make that inside pass behind you a little bit tougher. That's Nebraska defensive football tomorrow. Now, offensively, I'm telling you, Strick, what I would love to see are all the fat backs. You know the band, fat back? That's what I want to see. I want to see the 6 bigs for Nebraska, whoever they are on any particular play. I want to see them busy. Busy. I don't need you dominant. I need you busy and active for the course of the game. Just be busy. Same thing. Let your runners have a clean path. A one-armed defender is not going to tackle Anthony Grant.
No.
Like, we know that. Okay, so what do I need for you, my lineman, to do? You know what? Occupy defender, take one hand away, and make this dude grab.
Right.
It's a lot of it.
I wanted to basically also get into.
Oh, we need to go to ID.
We got an ID.
Yeah,
we
let's
need
get
a
that
station
ID.
identification. Back in studio.
Let's see if he's paying attention.
Is he paying attention?
Probably not.
We got to send him a note. But anyway, in the meantime, in between, we again here, soon to be old school. We're on the block. Have a few more questions for the great DP.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket, Firth, Nebraska.
There you go.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
There we go.
There we go. We got it done.
Bills paid.
So I look at this game. I don't feel it's a scary game, but I feel it's one to just be concerned about. Because I think offensively what we saw last week was an adjustment that was made, and it looked reminiscent of what I wanted to see in the Northwestern game, which was holes, hit, go, move the ball, handle clock. I don't want to see a clock differential in this particular game. I want to see us begin to dominate that realm. And is that something you think we need to do? Is there a reason for it? Or do you want to see Casey Thompson unleashing and just trying to handle things with the air raid?
Well, as an offensive coordinator, and I don't want to speak for Mark Whipple, but as a coordinator, what I want to do is allow my best players to do what they do best most often. Good. That's an offensive coordinator, right? We didn't know in week 1 that Anthony Grant was the most important player on this offense.
Yeah.
We didn't know. Now, he still banged his head on the goalpost. Like, he went house. He did what you would hope that he would do. The problem in those games are these are one-possession games, and you're not getting your extra possessions. I'll say it again. In all of these one-possession games, Nebraska has to get their extra possessions, and you can't give away extra possessions, right? That means don't give away on an onside. Don't on a tip ball. Don't put the ball on the grass. Get off the field on third down defensively. For a program that has lived firmly in one-possession games, the coaching staff has to now manage possessions. And it has to be out loud. Like, it has to be purposeful. It's great to look. Anthony Grant said, if you give me the ball 4 times in the drive, we scoring because I'm ending up in the house. Right? That's a positive possession. Done. You put that in the bank, that's in your savings account. You ain't got to worry about it no more. But what you have to worry about is giving Grant the next possession. And too many times in the first, especially at Northwestern,
definitely
against Northwestern, possessions were sitting on hold. And it was a one-possession game. Same thing put you in the first half last week at this building. Time of possession was 20 minutes in the first half.
Yeah.
That's at least 2 possessions offensively that were taken away from you. What you do when you get the ball is do what you have been doing, which is be productive, be efficient, be safe with it, honor the possession. That's a phrase that we would write on the board before my teams went out. Honor this possession. Not the last one, not the next one. This one. Get your points in this one. And Nebraska has they've done okay with it. It's the fact that they have not taken advantage of the possessions, and then they haven't gotten any.
That's good stuff, DP. I mean, there's a lot that we can get into, dig into. But listen, old school is ready to jump off, and I'm not going to hold too much of your time. Jay Foreman's itching and scratching, ready to get over here and talk to you guys.
You see him over there, right?
So, yeah, right? I see him over there.
I'm surprised he hadn't banged his head against that brick wall over there.
Well, we hoping we don't lose Jay today because
No.
Jay is a phenomenal athlete, great linebacker, Hall of Famer. He's excited, I'm sure, for the Huskers to get it done, the Black Shirts to get it done. I'm sure you're going to have some great conversation to continue what happened on the block. Again, we're at Barry's on 9th and Q. We're on the block, and we crossed over with old school. Jay Foreman, the next voice with DP you'll hear when you come off this next segment. We're at the rooftop on the block. There's some registers that can be done here for 2 pairs of tickets for the game tomorrow, as well as drink specials from 6 to 9 for all alumni. Alumni get 10% off of their purchases. Come on down, shout us out, say what's up, give us a salute. We thank you. We're on the block. We'll catch you also tomorrow at Tipsy Tina's. We're going to be there for the pregame shows starting at 4:30, I believe. 4:30, is that right? 4 o'clock. Starting at 4 o'clock all the way up, dang near the game time. So we'll be there at Tipsy Tina's tomorrow. Come out there as well. We're on the block. We got to go. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. We'll holler at you tomorrow.
My computer was a dinosaur, and our TV, well, let's just say it was definitely time for